Hey there, viewers, it's Charlie, I'm back again, and welcome back to the G1 Marathon. And today, I shall review Bombshell. Now, if you remember, my previous review was Kickback, so I'm just carrying on the Insecticon legacy. Now, unfortunately, at the time of this recording, I do not have Shrapnel. But, Now, before we go on to the actual figure, of course, we have to look at his tech spec. Although, unlike the previous figures, I actually don't have his physical tech spec. But thankfully, the internet has me covered. Also, big shout out to the Transformerland website for this tech spec. So I shall just read that. Function: psychological warfare. The mind is my playpen. Okay, so this guy's pretty much Stewie Griffin. Can turn foes into helpless accomplices by injecting cerebro shells into their heads, robot or human. So that's a bit gruesome. With his stinger, aka this thing, gives them control of their minds and has a cruel sense of humor. Arms himself by having his victims debase themselves. In insect mode, this Insecticon can fly 5.7 miles, and in robot mode, where his head-mounted mortar, once again, this thing, throws 50-pound explosive shell 8 miles. Cerebro shells can be used against them if removed from the victim's head. Okay. And his tech spec. So, if I can try and read this. You're probably having trouble actually seeing this, but seeing how this is not an actual tech spec, I can't really use a decoder. But well, his strength is 5. His intelligence is 8. His speed looks to be about 5, it looks like. Endurance is 5. Rank is 6. Courage is 5. Firepower is 6. And skill is 9. So for every tech spec I don't have, which is pretty much going to be almost the rest of my G1 reviews, I'll just be using the internet to help me. So if I can just turn this off quickly. There we go. Now let's get on with Bombshell himself. Now, as you can see, Bombshell here is a robotic rhinoceros beetle. So, yeah, a bit creepy looking. I mean, it was Halloween a few days ago at the time of this recording, so now having a look. This yellow thing, I think that's supposed to be his eye. And the joint here where the arm folds up could be his pupil. So if you want. Once again, peeling stickers, but it's not because the stickers are crap. It's because this is a vintage figure, remember? The other side with the other sticker. The underneath, which doesn't have any. Well, the head's not showing, unlike with Kickback. The top, well, we can see the actual thing that injects the cerebro shells. Here we have his rub sign, and hopefully we'll have better luck with this than with Kickback, because I have more space to hold and press onto my finger. Well, if I hold it up at the right light, then you can see. Yeah, you see that? There we go. And this can sort of open, because this was a Diaclone figure, remember? Along with Kickback and Shrapnel. But this is pretty much Bombshell's vehicle mode. Not vehicle mode, beast mode. I mean, technically you can say this is a vehicle because it has wheels, so it can sort of roll along. Not well, it's more sliding, but you can still sort of say that. Anyway, Coming in for Bombshell's transformation, take the insect legs and fold them out to the front like so. Take the back and move that like so. That's pretty much it for that. Then take this part, move that down, and move that ever so slightly to reveal its head. And this is pretty much Bombshell, and this is robot mode. So yeah. Also have this gun, and unlike the other tech specs, like Bombshell's tech spec doesn't really say what this gun is, what it does, what its name is. And more talks about this thing, which, well, it's what he uses to inject cerebro shells into his victims. I think for me, the most prominent example was when he did it with Mirage in the episode Traitor. But, yeah. Having a 360 of Mirage, not Mirage, Bombshell. Well, we can see some details in the back. Sorry, I thought I saw some licensing detail, but not really. But there is some sticker detailing in his feet. Now, having a look at Bombshell's head, well, we can see that, well, he has normal eyes. He has, well, it looks like half of a knight's helmet because of the mouth. Not to mention, what was the front bit of the Rhino Beetle is now a head cannon, which is pretty cool. Now, for this guy's articulation, well, his arms can move like so. Nothing at the head. He can't look up or down. He can't move his head, unlike with kickback. Sadly, he can't T-pose. I suppose if you want, he can do this as a little butterfly joint. Well, he can sort of move his legs back a little bit. And you can break his knee. But that's pretty much it. Can't do the splits, and, well, this is actually a complaint. The front bit here is actually hollow. Why? They could have made it so, like, there was a waist level, so this was the front of his legs instead of this, because as you can see, this is all hollow. And it's a bit weird and awkward, so if they could have implemented a waist swivel for this guy, I think he'd look much better in robot mode. But that's pretty much my only complaint, because I really like this guy. So that's pretty much it for my review on Bombshell. So do I recommend him? Once again, with all the G1 figures, if you're a G1 collector, or if you really like the original Transformers, because, well, even though the hollow legs are a bit of a, I can't even think of anything. Well, the hollow legs are a bit of a eyesore, honestly. I still really like this guy and Kickback. Best of all, unlike with the other G1 figures, the only thing you have to worry about if you want to complete is the gun. Granted, you might have to worry about the chrome, but as you can see, my figure is in quite good condition. So, he's pretty good. But if you want a Bombshell that has more articulation, either go with the Titans Return, or I think it's the Combiner Wars Bombshell, or maybe a third-party figure of Bombshell. Although if you really want an official, highly articulated Bombshell, go for the Combiner Wars figure. If you don't mind how this guy pretty much can't move that much, then yeah, I recommend going for this guy. So, this has been my review on G1 Bombshell, and this is Charlie Young, signing off.